right? Woo! What time is it? 9:30? Jesus. All right. My name is Casey Lau, and some of you may know me. I'm from Hong Kong. I co-founded one of the startup organizations there called Startups HK. I also run SoftLayer's Catalyst startup program in Asia, so I've probably met a lot of you, but I've been asked today to be the master of ceremonies and basically jibber-jabber on while they're fixing things in the background. So I'll be here for today and tomorrow, calling out all the speakers and the panelists. And so let's just start right away. The first keynote address is by Mr. Andy Zain. He is the managing director at Mountain SEA Ventures, a startup accelerator and tech company builder in Southeast Asia. Andy is deeply rooted to the regional innovation ecosystem as director of Startup Founder Institute of Jakarta and the chairman for Mobile Monday in Indonesia. So please, for the first keynote, let's really be a loud welcome to Andy Zain.
Thanks, Casey. Hi guys, how are you? Oh, hi guys, how are you? So, all right. Please join me to congratulate the team from Tech in Asia for this amazing events. My last time talking in Tech in Asia, I think like 3 years ago. I think 3 years ago in Jakarta and 2 years ago in Singapore. I was always being asked to say, hey, Andy, please share something about Indonesia, about what happened in the industry landscape. And of course, my boring topic title is always Indonesia Tech Landscape. But I'm going to make it a bit different. I put a picture of a tiger there, because last night we tried to find a picture of a dragon. We can't find it, so I think not bad to have a tiger. So do you want to pet the tiger? This is the topic which I'm going to share with you. Works? Works? Okay. Not working. What should I do with this? Ah, okay. No, is that me? Okay, cool. For you who have not known me before, my name is Andy Zain. So, like what Casey mentioned, I run few activities. One is I'm a managing director for Mountain Southeast Asia Venture, where we are not a VC, but we are more like a company builder. We found good team. We put money, but we work together with them in our facility to build tech companies. We also have a partnership together with Indosat to launch IdeaBox. So IdeaBox, we found good teams around Indonesia. We try to see how we can groom them up and integrate them or synergize them together with the carrier infrastructure and push it up to the market. So far, we've been building like 17 companies together on that initiative. But through my experience, I've been involved in over 30 startups since like maybe the last decades. I'm also the founders and organizer for Mobile Monday in Indonesia, which is a networking forum for people in the mobile industry. Our last event has just happened yesterday, no, 2 days ago on Monday, whereas we spoke about what is the latest and the hottest in the mobile industry. They're also director for Founders Institute, where we train young entrepreneurs who want to become startup founders. So that's a bit about me. But today what I want to share is I have to start with this, right? Tokopedia. It's been the talk for everybody for the last few weeks. Tokopedia, $100 million? Are we insane? But well, this is what happened for Indonesia now, right? Things really start happening. We don't see investment for tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or few million. We're talking about like hundreds of millions now. Yeah, then we're joining the club, not just like the small players in Southeast Asia, but now we are joining the top rank already. Congratulations to my friend as well, William and Leon, these two guys from Sumatra, which is also my hometown. When I find this picture, then it actually reminds me of these pictures. Okay, so I mean, this can be epic. So I want to be the first one to point out to people like, okay, this picture gonna be used over and over again for the next generation of the next decades of startup for Indonesia. Everybody want to become them. But it is not just about Tokopedia. We look about e-commerce. Now the theme is like e-commerce. When I look at the list of the speakers, a lot of the session is about e-commerce. But e-commerce is not just Tokopedia. There are few other initiatives happening quite interestingly for Indonesia. Female Daily just announced their investment, I think, a few days ago. Congratulations to Idea Stores to lead that round. Bukalapak, they got like almost the same amount of inventory at Tokopedia. But we have Blibli, Indonesian Amazon also doing very well. Smaller initiative like e-vouchers, Bilna for baby product, Berry Benka, which also able to raise quite interesting round I think few months ago. But beyond that, the big guys, the telco also start coming in and play in this industry. We have Belanja, which is a joint venture between Telkom and eBay, and I think that they have like tens of millions of dollars to spend on that initiative. Chipika is an initiative by Indosat that they just roll out. Elevenia, we know that 40 million fund that they put in to roll out e-commerce as part of Excel initiative. So we say it is growing, but it is not just games for the small players, for the young startup. Corporates are coming in, but what is interesting is that the $100 million funding start coming into the market. But it is just early. Yeah, it is just the start of it. If you look at what happened in Indonesia, in emerging market, it is less than 1% of retail shopping is done online. Yeah, look at the countries like Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, Malaysia, where there's a 40 million population potential with there. On the developed market like Singapore, US, Australia, Canada, and all that, there's about 500 million population, but 20% retail shopping happens online. So if you look at the numbers, 1 to 20. So 20-fold opportunity still exists in the market. So when talk about 100 million, it is nothing yet. Yeah, talk about all the things that do, tens of millions that they spend to launch a startup. It is nothing yet because at the moment it's still 1% of the opportunity. So is it a red sea yet? No, I think it is still like really wide open opportunity for everybody in the industry. Dig further to the numbers. Indonesia with 250 million population, 80 million already internet users. But what is interesting is that we are now on our demographic bonus. The next 10 years can be very interesting because why? 55 million more consumers will join the middle class and they have money to spend, right? And 50% of Indonesians now aged below 30 years old. So they are on the productive age. For the next 10 years, they're going to be the one that spends a lot of money. Yeah, there's about 565 billion US dollar forecasted size of saving and investment up to 2030. So there's a lot of money, 565 billion. Yeah, billion, if you put Indonesia, you put like another 40 there. Yeah, so there's huge, huge money. But what is even more interesting is that the growth is like this double-digit compounded growth year to year on this consumer finance. 35% growth in mortgage lending, 26% in consumer lending. Yeah, people start lending money, meaning that they're doing well, right? That is true or not. But 25% growth in credit card usage and also in insurance. Everything like double-digit, even like above 20%. So it's actually a great sign for Indonesia. Yeah. And technology enabled that. Yeah. In the past, you know that before e-commerce, there's a push where it's like people go to the store, people go to Garuda to buy ticket. But now, people actually, Traveloka actually pull customer there. So this technology allow a new way for corporate, for business to actually reach out to the customer. So like Garuda, Matahari, Electronic City, Carrefour is now like being challenged by players like Traveloka, Zalora, Blibli, Lazada, and even more, right? Those are the users, these are the 80 million users of Indonesia who use internet. Half of them are below 30 years old. So those are the guys that, or the girls, that the people, the men and the women that really goes for internet. So it's all good news. However, we still have this problem, right? There's the growth constraint for internet business for Indonesia. We've been talking about it for years. Yeah, for the last 5 years, we've been preaching about this. Like our issue is on connectivity, logistic, human capital, last mile. Okay, how is it we don't have we have big problem with logistic for Indonesia? Yeah, payment issue, right? Because credit card usage is still very low in Indonesia. Then the bankable population is still very limited. Problem with logistic delivery. We don't have an efficient postal system. But those are structural roots issues that we've been facing. Yeah, because what? The issue because everything for Indonesia is still paper-based. Yeah, it's not electronic yet. There's lack of infrastructure. I think our power ring that connected Indonesia to be in one internet loop, it is not even there yet. Right? It's been a problem since the last decades. Our regulation, which is like too old, too antique already, right? We saw even like the new regulation is not really supporting to e-commerce, to the local e-commerce. And we know the problem with a lot of the censorship also. yeah, taxation problems. Then on the consumer side, there's still problem with low trust and poor consumer protection. They actually hinder further growth of e-commerce for Indonesia. Look into 1%, go to 20%, looks easy. However, it is not that, right? And poor national education standard also is one of the problems that we are facing. So these are all the problems. But, no, this guy, the wind of change are blowing. It's only like one of the first time ever that we feel, Indonesians feel motivated, feel encouraged, feel empowered, yeah, with a new cabinet in place, the new president in place. Then there are few big changes might happen, right? Already happened already. If you look at the initiative happened by the president, only a few weeks when they took the office, then they just initiate mobile payment become the way for them to disburse the cash aid to the underprivileged Indonesia. I have more later on to share with that. On e-services is being encouraged, transparency is being encouraged, e-voting, e-taxes, e-application, e-health, right? Even Jakarta, I think we have this Jakarta hack competition, right? So the governor of Jakarta opened up the data for public to access and create application on top of that, right? Then and only like the first time ever that we have an ICT ministry that really supportive to us, because our new minister of ICT come from our industry, come from telco industry. They're not bureaucrats. Yeah, hopefully that things can even like move much faster. And this is very encouraging. And one of the things that really, really excite me, and that's why I dedicate this session about this topic, is the super card. The government issue 1 million families to get cash aid, which is like every month they get $20, distributed using mobile SIM card. We all been talking about mobile payment, digital wallet is not really taking off. Yeah, the first time government say that now I want to distribute the cash relief program, the cash aid for the underprivileged Indonesia. We start with 1 million family first. Each one of them will get $20. So I'm not mistaken, they got like $500 million to spend for this 1 million 1 million families. However, it's just a small portion of it. There's about 14.5 million underprivileged family in Indonesia that will receive this. At the moment, most of them are still using the cash disbursement. But once they all move to this system, imagine what is the impact, right? Imagine if you have like tens of millions of people, they get $20 a month, meaning that we need to create an infrastructure where they can go in and cash out. And those can be the post office. Those can be independent agents. There'll be thousands of them, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of them. And that enable a new economy happening, a new money circulation happening already. And the last study is that, the last report says that for these people who've been distributed, this 1 million family, 25% of them keep the money there. They still keep the money in digital format. Okay, so there's a big breakthrough. It's just like few weeks ago. Yeah, we are in the beginning of it. But we need to recognize there's a new opportunity happen because a lot of new things happening for Indonesia. And it is all based by the financial technology, Fintech, right? So what Fintech for you? Fintech is a structural pillars that enable scalable innovations. If you don't fix it, then it's very hard for you to see what will happen with the industry. Yeah, we all complain about e-commerce. We have so much problem, logistics not there, payment not there, customer trust is not there, a lot of issue. But how to fix that? We can't fix that by launching more e-commerce verticals, right? Because, wow, there's a lot of opportunity. Let's open more vertical on e-commerce. But if the underlying problem is still there and nobody fixing it, yeah, and not much will happen. I just talked to Ming Hao down there. I says that, no, we can create medicine to cure your cough, yeah, or let's say we can sell bandits to actually help to dress your wounds. But there's even more money if you can help to find a cure for tuberculosis. Yeah, instead of you actually fix the cough, you fix the underlying problems. Or let's say there's more money if you can find a cure for diabetic, then you sell bandits to cover the wounds. Right? There's more money there, and those are in fintech. What can we do with fintech? In fintech, there'll be innovation in e-money, in e-payment that replace paper and plastic money that we have now, which have a lot of limitation, right? With fintech, you can like enable P2P payment versus now cash transaction, which is very hard for you to track and also very costly. With fintech, you can get customer data and have it safety, right? Rather now that no data, we don't know what really happened in the industry. We enable big data analytic. Now it's all guesswork. Lower loss rate versus now like a lot of non-performing loan the rate is very high. With fintech, you have all data, you have everything on digital. Then you can personalize your product. It's not like one product fits all for everybody. It can be for loan, it can be for any stuff that you offer, like insurance, faster transactions, like e-application rather than everything have to be in wet signatures. Okay, those actually allow a lot of innovation, and this innovation can solve a lot of problems. Like you have to cure the main problem before you can come out with more businesses, right? Before e-commerce can actually excel and grow much faster, you can grow like 20 folds, and that's why fintech allow that innovation. But maybe not this kind of innovation, because like it is fun, it is cool, it has been the talk for everybody in Silicon Valley. It's big thing. I don't say it is not big, but however. Now, if we go back closer to the home, right, there's still a lot of stuff that we can do in this sector, right? One thing, let's talk about full-service branches banking, microfinance inclusion, right? Just one example, Bank Rakyat Indonesia, one of the leaders in microfinance for Indonesia. They have 465 mobile vans, so car like this, that go around and serve the people in the rural area. And they have 10,000 permanent branches to also serve them. And they serve like $14 billion in micro lending, which the total opportunity about 50 billion per year for Indonesia. At the moment, Bank Rakyat Indonesia (BRI) have 7 million microcredit customers. But again, it is just one part of that. Micro lending service like this is the proxy, right? It's an intermediary for branches banking with massive opportunity. Imagine if they can reach people with a car. What they can do, it can reach people with their phones, right? And now like 1 million people already have that. They've been familiarized to use that. They have money on my phones. Later on, why can I apply for loans and do the repayment and do my transaction there, right? So instead of they have to have a bank account. Secondly, like credit scoring. We all have complaints about, fraud in e-commerce. We don't know what really happened. A lot of non-performing loans as well. Let's make the economy become expensive. Because Indonesia, we have 40% adult, which is bank. And 60% unbanked. I have to say, maybe if you put it into more specific, all these 40% Indonesian adults that have bank account, a lot of them are also underbanked. So they have bank account, but they don't have any transaction. So they just put it to get their wages. After that, then there's no transaction happen on that. Or the amount is so small. But all these people, the bankable people is that you have the data, so you can credit rate them, whether their credit worthy is good or not. But how about the 60%? Are they not credit worthy? They might have stores. They're generating income as well, right? So imagine if you can enable loans to them, credits to them, then it opens up more opportunity for the economy, for the market, right? But in common, what these people have Facebook, right? Even though you have bank account or no bank account, everybody have Facebook. Right? We talk about it in past conference like this. Everybody have, like say, electricity bills, paper, water bills, have mobile phones. They have all that information, and those are the ones that can be component as part of the credit worthiness. But what I know is that within the next 6 to 12 months, something like this will happen. The credit rating, because government have initiative, to bring in a consortium of company to build a credit rating system for Indonesia, and this is interesting. Imagine you are an e-commerce players. Now you know your customer, how is their credit worthy before you ship product to them. We know who to offer our service by looking at what is their credit worthiness level. This is interesting, and this is huge business if you can build something around this area. Look into what happened. Typically, for a credit rating, you can charge like 10 cents to 25 cents every time there's a hit to your server to check on whatever happened to them. Look at the example of BRI, the one I mentioned earlier. They got 7 million microcredits customer, meaning that the other credits is even more than that. Let's say if each one pay about 10 cents, there's easily $1 to $2 million you can get from a bank. There's 128 banks in Indonesia. There's 1,600 micro banks, few hundreds multi-finance lenders in Indonesia. Imagine how much money actually on this area. And technology enable that. But somebody need to build that and make it available, right? This is too big to be done only by one party. Then innovation in fintech can enable true digital and mobile payment. We're still being constrained because we do have digital payment, we do have mobile payment, but actually it is piggyback, it is locked to a closed system. Look at initiative from the telco, Dompetku by Indosat, XL Tunai by XL, Tcash by Telkomsel. It's all backed by their own closed infrastructure. So make it unappealing for the other players, for people to use it. Yeah. While the other party, the bank, also have their own initiative, and they're not like really talking to another, like they competing one to another. But why can't we have something really open, an aggregating platform for payment, right? So you own it as a user, you control it, and you can connect to all your multiple payment options. Yeah, your banks, your debit card, your credit card, and enable payment, something like PayPal, right? There's one example, company in Indonesia called MimoPay. What MimoPay do in a smaller scale, connect only for the entertainment industry. So they connect to multiple payment mode using the telco balance, they use the telco top-up card, they use bank payment as well. Then enable players in the entertainment industry to make their payment easy and simple. Right? So they now work together with, I think, 200 over games in Indonesia, 60 over publishers. Also, people can use it to pay bills. But interestingly is that it is for entertainment industry. Indonesian entertainment industry is about 150 million in revenue, which is small. Yeah, in gaming industry, is compared to country like Thailand, with like over 200 million, and Vietnam, even like over 200 millions. Indonesia with like maybe double or triple population of Thailand and Vietnam. Our revenue from gaming industry is still very small because we have these problems. Yeah, with payment, there's no transparent, easy payments enabled as an option for people to actually grow the industry. So by fixing fintech, by allowing this opportunity, make it easy for the other industry player to participate and grow their business, not just for e-commerce, also for entertainment industry. P2P, payment and money transfer. Of course, again, it is like very close loop. We can work, but only between us. But crossing gonna be a big problem. So this is the one that the same problem that we can also fix, yeah, by having a new wave of regulation to resporting it, new government who support that. But on the same side, from our end also, the innovation that we can bring to the table to make it happen, right? So the next one, online comparison, brokerage and transparency. Yeah, fintech can also bring that in. If you look into that. What is the size of consumer lending market? It is huge, 120 billion US dollar with 12% growth annually. Retail insurance, 40 billion. Life insurance, 20 billion again. Those are all big numbers. And fintech can help to transform this industry, right? By what? By actually getting people together with all the other parties, let's say, once you have credit ratings, then you can make people easily for them to actually apply for loans. Yeah, because we can actually get what is the credit worthiness. Once you have that, you can actually make it transparent, compare between whatever provider in the market, then choose the best deal for you and process it, right? So there'll be a move from traditional brokerage services, where it's powered by human, to powered by technology, and this is the size of the industry. But only very limited companies actually play on this area. One of our portfolio company, Check Aja, we connected to like 50 over bank and insurance in Indonesia and 20 over banks in Philippines to enable this, right? And this actually is a big opportunity. We're working on this because like, we believe this is the future. And this is actually still blue ocean. So, impact of fintech. Structural solution for the e-commerce industry. Like I mentioned earlier, if you want to fix it, if you fix it, there's more money to help cure diabetic or cancer than selling bandage to dress up the wounds, right? We can all be so excited with the opportunity of e-commerce, and a lot of investors, a lot of startups, they say, let's build more verticals. But it is not just that, yeah? We need to make it more efficient, so your margin is better. It's cheaper for you to get customer, right? It's easier for them to pay for your service. The trust level is higher, so they actually want to transact more, they want to buy more. And you can't do that by just let's launching more vertical and hope someone will solve it. No one will solve it if not us, because we are here, we are part of the industry. It's part of the thing that we can do, right? Fintech can also enable SME and the small businessmen, yeah, because previously they are being denied from a lot of opportunity because they are not creditworthy, they don't have bank account, they don't have enough resource to back what they want to do. But now with fintech, it's all transparent, open up a lot of opportunity for them. Then even like cross-industry, not just e-commerce industry, but other like digital entertainment industry, enable the creative producer like game and music to really gain through mass distribution, right? At the moment, it's all very limited, but I mean, we can fix that. Yeah, if you want to work toward that, and they need to have some people look into that and enable society development. Yeah, because mass market remain largely unbanked. If we can do that, this is interesting, right? So, like what our President Jokowi done in APEC summit said, okay, these are the place where you can invest. These are the place where you can build, right? I mean, these occasions, as the first keynote in startup in Asia, I'd like to invite all major players on Indonesian tech sector. We have investor here, we got entrepreneur here, we got successful entrepreneur here, we got new startup here. Let's start looking into this, right? Don't just jump into the euphoria and say, hey, let's do more stuff, but look at what are actually needed by industry. This is largely untouched because why? It seems difficult, but the reward is there. And there's a barrier of protection for you because you are local. It's easier for you to do this because you understand the market. It is not as glamorous, but the reward and the return actually can justify that. Yeah, and this movement needs to be done not just by individual, it needs to be a collective initiative by different parties and the industry. So we are announcing also that the Fintech Association for Indonesia, because we believe that people need to work together to allow this to happen. So cross sector, either from the banks, from the government, from the insurance industry, from the association, and even for the startup in the financial sector. There's not much of them, but we start talking to a few parties, say, hey, let's do something together. And with this occasion also, I'd like to invite you, welcome you. Let's talk. I mean, let's make it happen because it is our market, right? We want to have 20-fold opportunity in Indonesia. Yes, we can do that. We're still behind. Yeah, it's much more that we can do than what we have now. So this concludes my presentation. Understanding this now, are you ready to pet the tiger? Yeah, because it's really there. It is not easy, but once you pet it, then you have the power. Thank you for the time.